Today, I'm going to talk about a guy who might be considered public enemy number one in the jungle. In fact, before I say that, I'll put that to you. If I were to say to you, who is public enemy number one in the jungle, who would you say? Some of you might argue Matt in L.A. Some of you might argue Rick in Buffalo. Some of you might argue the GOAT because he's the GOAT, the BIC. But if you really look at this, and if you go back and you listen to the past 13 years of tape, nobody takes more shots on a consistent basis than this guy.
Vic and NyQuil. Dude has the personality of a dial tone on Percocet. Now you're like the Dallas Cowboys. There's no doubt you have the talent, but you always turn out to be just average. You won a title years ago, but nobody is buying the tradition crap anymore.
Vic's like the old family dog who you finally got to put down. You feel terrible about it, but when all he's doing is running into walls and peeing on the carpet, there's no other choice.
Is there anything worse than Vic and Nocal calling every day this week?
And Rome, I know Vic isn't calling somebody else horny. The only difference between Vic and Jim McElwain is access to a shark.
Vic, you're the Ian Poulter of the Smackoff every year, buddy. You're always in the lead after Thursday, but once the weekend hits, your score takes a sailor dive into a pile of rocks.
Vic, you are a worthless word gypsy.
Vic, without Jim Rome, there is no Vic in NoCal, okay? You exist because Rome allows you to exist. Where are you going to go if Rome kicks you off the program, Vic? You think that crappy Dan Patrick show is going to take your calls?
That's a mini montage of voices putting Broadway Victor right in their crosshairs. Just about anybody who is somebody in the jungle has very intentionally started a rivalry with Vic and Nocal at one point. Because he's the guy they love to hate. Always has been. Always will be. Vic and Nocal's legacy is already etched in stone. When it's all said and done, he will go down as one of the best callers on the program. He ripped that title back in 2010. Nobody can ever take that away from him. However, if you want to make an argument that it's been a tale of two careers, that might be an argument that I might listen to. Let's look at the numbers. In the first 6 Smackoffs, Vic went top 5 times. Top 3 times. Won the entire thing once. In other words, every time he showed up, he was a threat to rip it. But in the last 6 Smackoffs, he's gone top 5 just once. He did not place last year. So if you want to argue that, yeah, at one point this guy was Seattle Mariner Ken Griffey Jr. But on the other end of his career, he's been Cincinnati Red Ken Griffey Jr. Fair enough. Except I would say this. Broadway Vic is still capable of being the best on that given day. The problem is, of late, he's been the best on a day before the day. The day before the Smackoff, not at the Smackoff. We've seen his RSVP calls. They've been amazing, but better than the Smackoff call. Now, again, this can change. If you sleep on this guy, do so at your own risk, because he is a straight-up savage. I don't think that changes. He's still bent, he's still unafraid, and he is still a savage. Even guys who aren't callers and have been great to me and my brand, like my dude, the great and extremely talented Ray Ratto, somehow was on the wrong side of Vic.
Memo to you, Ratto. I'm having a hard time hearing you talk about sports and athletes when you're sitting there with that silly little walrus mustache, that grotesque double chin of yours that hangs down to your nipples like a pelican beak. My man, you look like Craig Stadler ate Jabba the Hutt and then squeezed into a Cosby sweater. And that haircut, Ron, that ridiculous haircut that's like straight out of a Bob's Big Boy. It's absurd, Ron. I mean, what kind of grown-ass man walks around with that kind of hair, man, you know? I can almost see his mom fixing little Raymond's hair for him every morning before she pats the 50-year-old virgin on the head and sends him off to work, you know? The point is this, Ratto, not to go all you never played the game on you, but you never played the game. I doubt you ever played any game. I think the only game Ratto ever played, Rome, was Hungry Hungry Hippos, a game that he still enjoys playing to this day, except, of course, nowadays he just calls it lunch.
Damn, Vic. How do you do my man like that? You know how people write in their Twitter bio that retweets are not endorsements? Same goes for that. Same goes for that. Resets are not endorsements either. It's my guy, Ray Ratto. Everybody loves Ratto, except Vic. But that was merely to show you the kind of savage that Vic is, the kind of heat that guy packs. And if you thought that was ruthless and uncomfortable, wait till you hear what he did to Jay Moore back in the day.
Did Jay Moore seriously just spend 5 minutes talking about me? Are you kidding me, Jay? Was that supposed to be some kind of kill shot? Dude, that was a pathetic effort, fat man. Look, it's not my fault your show got canceled, Jay. Your show got canceled because it was awful. I mean, I watched it once, Rome. It was so bad, it actually made me want to go read books. Straight up. Jay, don't hate me because my smack is beautiful. Don't hate me just because you're such an unprofessional and unprepared buffoon that you show up 15 minutes late to host a national radio show. It's not my fault, Jay. It's not my fault that you've been reduced to hawking DiGiorno pizzas and kissing Justin Bieber's ass in the hopes of being able to pay your rent, all right? Talk about a fall from grace, man. I actually remember the days when you were an edgy comedian with balls. Dude, you're an absolute mess, man. Between your panic attacks, your failed marriages, your canceled TV shows, your meltdowns on Twitter, you're a mess in more ways than I can count, Jay, and I can pretty much count to infinity. Face the facts, Jay. You will never be better than me in life. You will never be better than me in this jungle, okay? The only jungle you will ever be better than me in will have to exist in some alternate reality. I gotta go, man, because Jay's charred carcass is setting off my smoke alarm. Let me go urinate on him.
Damn, Vic. So this guy, if you didn't know this guy, now you know this guy. And that goes back several years, sure. But Vic will still fight with anybody because generally everybody wants to fight with Vic. And in Smackoff 24, a couple of years back, he took the fight directly to Caleb in Green Bay and Rick in Buffalo.
Alvin DeLauro, that guy is a stud. Little Alvy's an animal. Dude, that guy gets more ass than Kelly Clarkson's lazy boy. Maybe he can help out Caleb in Green Bay, man, because the only women in Caleb's life are Betty Crocker, Little Debbie, and Wendy. I mean, look, I'm not saying Caleb isn't skilled with the ladies, but if he were a Star Wars character, his name would be Han Solo. Why is Rick in Buffalo invited? Has this guy ever made a good call? I mean, if I had $1 for every good Rick in Buffalo call, I'd have about 23 cents, man. Rick, nobody came to see you, man. They want to see Olajuwon, Shaq, Kareem, not Kevin Duckworth. You sound like Hulk Hogan with a brain tumor. Damn, dude, if ignorance is bliss, you got to be the happiest man in America.
The Rick and Vic rivalry was a main event attraction for the entire 2018 calendar year. These dudes traded week after week after week, months after months straight, and it was a damn good fight. Vic can always point to 2010 when he went legend, but Rick has been way better in the past two Smackoffs than Broadway himself. So we will see if the two of them collide once again next Friday and who gets the better of it. I know this. Vic is not headhunting for a certain clone. He is headhunting for a second title. He started the last decade with a championship. He's got the opportunity to start this decade with a championship. The question now is, can he be his best when it matters most?
I fly solo, old school. It's just going to be me, my phone, my brains, and enough gonad to power a locomotive. The Cablinasian is like a big-ass white whale, man. Holy crap, Shawnee, what the hell has CBS Sports been paying you in? Corn dogs and cookie dough? Rick, I'm tired of your stupid calls. I'm tired of your stupid voice. I'm tired of your stupid face. Did you see the pictures of that Buffalo convention of dorks that Rick organized at the Sabres game? I mean, Rome, you know I love your show. I got your back. But I will never go to a sporting event while carrying around a Jim Rome show sign with me, okay? And that's because I want to have at least some semblance of a chance of ever seeing a vagina again. Dude, I invented the RSVP call. I invented clones interacting on social media. I'm the single most influential force in the jungle in the past 20 years. Everywhere you look in the jungle, you see my influence. Brad spends more time talking about cranks than a 1920s mechanic. That psychotic weirdo who calls your show all the time, Matt in L.A., yeah, I'm pretty sure that guy was breastfed crack smoke. Matt, I don't know how the hell you can get through your calls when I'm sure that smell phone you put up to your face must totally stink after you have to jailhouse wallet it past the guards as contraband every time you call. Rick, congrats, man. You got me to mention your name. Now listen up, because I'm going to make you an offer you can't refuse, okay? You leave my jungle today, never to come back, and I'm going to let you live. But you show your caveman face around this house again, in my jungle, and I'm not just going to take you out. Your entire lineage is going to feel it. Brad and Corona called recently to talk at length about circumcision, and that was predictable. He has made his choice about what hill he's willing to die on, and that hill is Dong Hill. Do your homework on me first, okay? And check out my portfolio of dead bodies. Go down to the library, dig up all my old newspaper clippings, and find out who the hell I am.
Find out who the hell he is. 12 straight Smackoffs for Vic. This will be number 13. See you in 10 days, Broadway. Check that. See you whenever you make that RSVP call that you invented. And then I will see you in 10 days. Hats off to the XR4TI, doing a very good job. You guys are doing tremendous work in getting ready with the player profiles. There's Vix. We still have a couple more to go this week. Do you think this guy can rise up? Does he have another ring in him?